After a pretty lackluster first month of summer,
I decided now was a better time than ever to complete my hardest tower yet.
The Tower of Vacant Hindrances, a tower that when it was built was thought to be humanly impossible until proven otherwise by the best obby player at the time. I myself was now about to take on this challenge.
My last serious attempt at this was about 10 months ago, so it's safe to say I had some work to do. Since it had been so long since I last attempted this, I decided it'd be best to do some practice runs to refamiliarize myself with the tower. After the quick refresher, I tried seeing how far I could get starting from the middle of the tower. Didn't do too shabby, being able to get 2 floors of progress from 3 and 4.
Then immediately, as in like 40 minutes after, I got to floor 4, which is a lot better than I expected to get, but I gladly took it and threw it in the garbage.
Now usually, after playing for about 2 hours, I'd take a break, but I thought it was a good idea to hunker down and play until my hands hurt, which is usually around the 4-hour mark, a decision I'd come to regret heavily later on.
That's about right.
After my 3rd time reaching the 4th floor, I made it past all the hard parts and got my first run to floor 5, meaning I tied my all-time personal best already.
There are 2 jumps on this floor which require nearly perfect timing, and the rest of the jumps are just scary.
I believe my fear for this floor is what's holding me back from making progress. I just need to pass it once, and I'll have a much easier time clearing the floor. I carefully made my way through the floor, passing all the hard parts, only to be quickly reminded why I quit this tower having this floor as my personal best.
Yeah, by this point I didn't know what to do on this jump, but I stayed motivated and kept pushing. After getting back to floor 4, I failed the slope wall hop and then proceeded to fail the ladder grab at the start of 4. After that, I got one more good run in, which was the first hard jump of floor 5. And this concludes day 1. I did not think I would get here this early, even though it shouldn't have been too surprising considering it was only one jump that stumped me. Now by this point, I was under a considerable amount of pressure since I hadn't got here before, so I didn't expect to get too far. However,
I nearly passed floor 6 on my first try.
and this gave me so much motivation to continue since it proved my theory that as long as I passed 5, it wouldn't give me no more trouble.
The next day wasn't that eventful, with my only footage of that day being me reaching floor 6 once again.
But at least that means that me getting to 6 wasn't just a fluke. 2 days later, I managed to get to floor 6 again but failed the same jump. I don't know why this jump caused me so much trouble when I can easily do it in practice. The next day I did a lot better and passed the head hittering. These 2 jumps gave me tons of trouble during my grind, as you'll soon come to see. After making it back to floor 6, I failed the head hitter for the 2nd time, after which I failed the wrap after that, and that concludes day 7. On day 8, I started off with a run to floor 5, in which I jumped too late and failed to floor 1. Then this ladder grab on floor 4 cost me 2 additional runs. A few minutes later, I made it back to floor 5 and failed the hard jump at the end. But then
I was ecstatic.
Now, I'm no pessimist, but realistically, I wasn't getting anywhere far on floor 7 on my first attempt. But I did the only thing I could and gave it my best shot.
Though I had let the chance to first try the floor sit past, as long as I keep my head up, this will just be another step closer to my victory.
Anyways, this improvement of progress was really motivating considering I had failed 6 18 times by now. Motivating enough to land me another run to floor 6 where I failed a silly easy jump at the end. I spent the rest of this day losing runs to floor 6, but at least I was getting back extremely consistently, which was a good sign.
From what I've gathered, I need to work on floor 6 the most, so I made a mental note for tomorrow to focus on practicing it. Little did I know how much I really needed it.
Day 9 started out like any other. Practiced for an hour, then headed in game to go do it legit. However, I never could have expected what happened next.
I would not be surprised if I thought this was unreal, but there's still more gameplay to go.
Another run to floor 7 and failed the same jump. Deep down I wish I had gotten further, but it wasn't the end of the world. All that mattered was that I was making progress. My next significant progress was to floor 5, in which I failed a normal long jump for some mysterious reason. An hour later I got back to floor 5 and timed my W press too early, so I fell. After that I got a floor 6 run in which, let's not talk about it. That fail is followed up by my next run, which was lost due to the same jump on floor 5. However, the Etoh gods made up for it by blessing me with another floor 7 run. This floor 7 attempt wasn't nearly as good as the previous one, as I hit left before I hit space, so I couldn't jump off the slope.
Though I must say, that was a mighty fine save.
After catching myself on 4, I made my way back to 6 and failed, who could have guessed it, the first stinker jump. Not all was lost as I got back to 6 and made my way up to 7 and focused. The worst case scenario came to be true, me failing the 9th floor. This was very bad as floor 9 is the last floor without a safety net, and on top of that, floor 9 is the easiest floor in the tower.
The nerves of potentially fluking from floor 7,
being done with the grind, had just got the best of me. Though I did get one more floor 7 run, but lost it to a pretty easy jump. This day was very, very eventful, and while I had just reached a new PB, I was not happy about it. The one thing I could have done
to make me lose hope
was a fail at floor 9 or higher. It really hurt my motivation, but that doesn't mean I could just stop now.
Day 10 started off horribly, not getting a single run past floor 6 due to the 2 jumps I struggled with.
It took me about 5 hours to get my first run to floor 7. Even though I didn't end up passing 7, I did get through all the jumps I felt I should still have consistency with. After that, I had a few more floor 6 runs, but they also failed to the 2 jumps.
Now that I look back on this experience, I really should have just bit the bullet and got those jumps on lockdown. The resulting runs would have been well worth the time it'd take to build my skill in that section.
Day 11 was my worst day since day 2. Getting 2 runs to floor 6 and the second one failing to the very last jump of 6 somehow.
Are you actually kidding me? If this is to continue, I'm sure to lose my motivation quickly.
Day 12 was really bad. Barely any 6 runs, and I didn't even fail to something hard. Just this weird ladder flick.
Playing this tower every day was no joke, beginning to feel like torture. I wanted to do anything else other than play this tower first thing in the morning. Even so, I couldn't just stop now. I'm way too deep in. I mean, a few days ago, I was 5 jumps away from beating the tower. But regardless, I just had enough. The feeling of missing my opportunity ate away at my motivation every time I loaded up the game, till I was willing to accept that fact. And with me not having any company of my own, I had no will to continue and felt it wasn't worth the effort. Not all stories have a happy ending where the challenge is overcome. Sometimes it just gets the best of you. That's just the way things can turn out in life.
I moved on to playing a different tower, but now I decided to stream. This kept me from quitting as I enjoyed streaming and interacting with the chat. It's a nice change of pace from the wake up, grind, repeat cycle that I've gotten myself into. I'd end up failing the last floor 5 times, but I was having fun. And after 4 days of playing the tower, I wrapped it up and had an overall enjoyable experience.
Now, this should have been where the story ends, but off the high of beating one of my builds, I came back to my failed attempt at a new hardest on a whim. It was then that I realized something had clicked. This was surely unexpected, but it was probably a fluke. Day 14. We are approaching the 1 month mark since the grind started, and off the height of yesterday's performance, I was hoping to possibly match that performance, or at least around it. But this break, the change in mindset, it's hard to call it a coincidence what happened next. I did it! I actually beat it! I clawed my way up from my roots of getting nervous on the 4th easiest tower in the game, and I've risen to new heights I wouldn't even dare to dream of. That is why I do this, to prove to myself I can reach even higher if I give it my all. It fills me with so much joy. Naturally, this was my most mentally exhausting challenge yet. I reached my breaking point on numerous occasions and nearly gave up on the game as a whole. This gives me doubts as to if I plan to push any further than this, but only time will tell. Following the completion of this tower, I beat a new second hardest, which only took a fraction of the time it took to beat vacant hindrances. This tower sat at the peak of the difficulty chart when I joined back in 2020, so it felt surreal to be able to call myself one of the few Robloxians who have ever conquered it. And to you, the viewer, I'd like to thank you for giving me the time of day to tell this story, and I hope this goes on to inspire someone else to take that first step towards a challenge seemingly too overwhelming to overcome. This is my first attempt at making this type of content, so I'd like to hear what you guys think of it in the comments. Sorry I've been gone so long, life caught up to me, and I needed to make sure this video was something I gave my all to. And with that, the story officially concludes. I hope getting this video out will give me the nudge I need to continue with my content creation journey, but only time will tell. Bye dudes!